And the first topic is, let's start about the first topic. It's about the project we have done recently.
रिसेंटली हम लोग गए थे किलिच खान के साथ.
हाँ, we
किलिच खान
के साथ गए थे, yeah, and
किलिच
we
खान के साथ
went to a
गए थे हम
nearby
लोग.
town called किली.
गुलबर्गा.
गुलबर्गा तो है, लेकिन अब क्या नाम हो गया उसका?
कानापुरी क्या था?
Yeah.
Budget friendly.
Yeah, that
Kalaburgi.
Kalaburgi. We went to the Kalaburgi, and I found that is true. Budget friendly bhi hai Ahuja. So, hum log recent.
And you get about 80. I'd say you'd get about 80% of an international brand, or maybe even more, because I recently compared a Shure mic with the Ahuja mic, and it was very close. Maybe in editing you'll get some problem, but for a live mic, like a dynamic stage mic, it was really good.
So let's start. क्या करेंगे पहले? Should we give a preview of the promotion?
Preview.
No, first talk about the project. The project is about the sports academy there in Gulbarga, and they have an amazing ground. They've been running a huge cricket tournament every year for the past 9 years, and production was काफी बहुत अच्छा है. And they also had some international players coming in. Australia से, South Africa से, they also invited players from
दक्षिण अफ्रीका.
So वहाँ से players बुलवाए थे वहाँ पे खेले. So it's a beautiful ground, and they are promoting cricket. And अच्छी चीज़ ये दिखी, तुम अपन देखे थे ये, कि they are promoting cricket in such a way कि जो जो गरीब आदमी हैं, जो less fortunate लोग हैं, तो उनको अगर क्रिकेट कोई अच्छा खेल रहा है तो like they are shifting the whole family to Gulbarga.
They take care of a lot of charges as well.
Exactly. अब जितने भी जो वहाँ पे खेल रहे थे बच्चे, the jerseys,
so basically anyone who's less fortunate who doesn't get chance to do, they'll take all the charges, and if they see talent in him, they'll try to make him into a good player, train him into a good player.
So that was a really good thing. They also have horse riding over there, so we have a series of videos for this project. And the first one, what we are going to show you a little bit, is about the promotion part, what we did for the cricket. And video to badi hai, but we're going to show a little glimpse. So Khilij Khan, this is for you as well.
आपके लिए है ये सारा कुछ
तो
ठहरा गया है. चलो लगाओ.
तो धूप में ठहर के,
धूप में छाँव में, ठंडी छाँव है. उस गांव का नाम तेलंगाना है.
तेलंगाना नहीं, he wrote the name Kalburgi, which is like I don't know how many kilometers away. So here's the video. We're going to show the glimpse.
Can they hear the audio as well?
Yeah,
I think so.
तो मैं क्या करूँगा उसके साथ? 1 2 3 4 5 6. तो मैं after showing this, we're going to talk about how was the shoot and what are the challenges we faced. So here is the first look. So hope you guys enjoy. And go. So yeah, that was the first
Just
clip.
seeing how it looks. It looks good.
Yeah, the video is done though. I mean, half part is done. We are halfway there. We have to do, it's not about just shooting and editing and applying colors. Bas ho gaya. We have to do a lot after that. We have to do a lot in post process. So that is still happening.
This is just the first part of the video.
Yeah.
So the thing I would like to tell you here is, अरे मैं क्या smiling भेज दिया है Sims. Sorry. So first of all, about the resolution, if what we noticed is with these drones, Mavic Air 2, what else is there? The new POV, FOV, whatever that is. All of these drones, they have a smaller camera, and obviously their sensor is really small. So you get this, which we talked in the previous thing. If your sensor is not really big.
Thank you everyone. Thank you Leba. Thank you, Khilij Khan. Thank you, Afan. Now, I hope you guys will like the full video as well.
Shukriya aapka. So what I want to say is, if you're doing a shoot like this, especially where drones are there, and when you're matching it with a camera like Blackmagic 4K, 6K or so, whatever it is, you have this effect. It looks like a painting. We talked about it in the previous thing. If your sensor is not very big, the megapixels don't matter, right? So if it's 40 megapixels, 50 megapixels, doesn't make sense. Because then you'll still, when you zoom in, you'll see this painting like blurred effect. Okay, so that happens a lot in drones, especially like these. If you are flying obviously drones that can hold a Blackmagic or Ursa camera, and then that's a different story. But in this is a more realistic approach. So the thing here is when you shoot 4K and you're making a 1080 timeline, 4K in a 4K timeline is good. 4K footage in a 4K timeline is what I mean. 4K footage in a 1080 timeline is even more good, because if this is your 1080 timeline, I'll just show you. If this is your 1080 timeline, your 4K footage is this big, right? And then you'll compress it into 10K, so it still looks very sharp. But if this is your 4K footage and you're taking just this part of it zoomed in, then you'll have a very high impact on your quality, because then all those painting effects and all those come out, because you're just taking a crop of that 4K thing. So 4K in a 1080, when you compress, when you do a slight zoom, the more you zoom, the more impact you'll take basically on your image quality. So try to frame your things. This is something we learned when
not just on this project. We've been doing this in our Ben Ali one. We did this in our Dubai shoot.
So over time we learned this. We don't make mistakes anymore, but previously we did, like very long back, and we had a test thing going on and we saw this thing. So if you're shooting like this, try to frame it is the same with any camera. So even if it's a Blackmagic 4K camera, your 4K footage on a 4K timeline is fine. 4K footage on a 1080 timeline is even better, because it'll look sharper. But if you zoom in, the more you zoom in, the more image quality will get hit.
Yeah.
So try to frame your things the way they are, because so then you don't have to zoom, you don't have to reframe and post, you can just use the footage as is, right?
Yeah, so अब उससे हट के भी the effect सिर्फ clarity में नहीं जाती, the color you're applying, the things you're doing, वो भी ज़रा एक pixel से pixel फट के colors उतने अच्छे नहीं आएंगे. So keep that in mind with the drones and stuff. Drones अगर आप phone में देख लिए footage, you'll be like, okay, बहुत clear है and all this. That is true. लेकिन if you watch it on a wide screen, you'll see
और TV especially.
Yeah,
TV में तो पूरा खराब दिखता है.
You see a special. You'll see a drastic change of the quality of your main camera in the drone. So keep that in mind. And if you don't want to compromise on the quality, you just have to buy that drone which can carry your heavy camera onto it and fly that.
But still the same thing would apply, that if you zoom in, then obviously
वो तो है. But I'm just talking about the quality of what Mavic and all other drones offer, because sensor बड़ा भी है, 1 इंच का भी use करे अपन sensor, वो भी बड़ा भी है, तो the lens, they can't beat the actual cameras, right? So that is the whole story.
ये बात.
Apart from this, गर्मी बहुत थी. गर्मी तो भाई
गर्मी का भी ये है कि आप अपने शूट्स अगर रीस्केड्यूल कर सकते या ऐसा कर सकते, तो गर्मी में मत करिए. Not just because you'll feel tired, you can maybe have water and overcome that, but the things don't work. Like the cameras, they get really hot, the batteries get very hot, especially if it's in a cricket field like that where it's like direct sun, right? There are shades on the sides, but in the field you don't have any shades, and the time from going from the shade to the middle of the ground is like what, 2 minutes, I think, or 1 minute, whatever, when you set up, right? So that makes your things very hot. Your lenses become hot. Everything stops working in that heat, right?
So for the few shots, direct under the sunlight, I was carrying the umbrella on. खुद पे तो नहीं, लेकिन on the camera, because when the camera hits get heating up, problem arises. So we don't want that to happen. So वो बहुत परेशानी थी धूप की. That was a challenging part, but again,
thank you, bro, Kili-chan. I love the shoot as well, and when you see the full output, I think you'll like it.
Hopefully, even more. So, so that was it.
So try to the summer thing. That was one challenge. So try to reschedule. The other challenge was the resolution. Anything else?
The experience. Let's talk about.
Also, one of the things is always have your backups.
Yeah.
Please, you'll fail. So what happened is, not in the shoot, but what happens is, one of the shoots that happened for me, when you shoot, if you're recording only in one card, then either do a backup by the night, if that allows, if something is, the thing with these cards and SSDs and all these storage things is they suddenly don't work. Okay, so they suddenly fail.
It's a machine in the end, so
Yeah,
you
so
know,
it doesn't give you any notice or warning that it's
इंसान का
failing.
भरोसा नहीं है भाई, नेक्स्ट सांस
Exactly.
नहीं, मशीन का क्या
तो
रहेगा.
ये बात है.
And that is true.
बड़ी बात
That is true. People were
सोच
very
सुना के.
cooperative since it was a backward city compared to Hyderabad where we live. तो you know, obviously लोग अच्छे होते हैं.
बैकवर्ड नहीं बोलते, इतना डेवलप नहीं है बोलते.
You can say it both ways, I guess. उतना डेवलप नहीं है तो लोग सुकून में हैं. वो सुकून देख के, और सिटी 9-10 बजे बंद हो जा रही थी, 9 बजे. लेकिन कोविड की वजह से बोल रहे थे, लेकिन आई वॉज लाइकिंग दैट पार्ट कि भाई 9 बजे पूरे घरों में 9 बजे सो जा रहे हैं. So I liked that environment. कोविड तो यहाँ पे भी है, यहाँ पे सो रहा कोई.
यहाँ पे तो उसके बारे में है end में.
हाँ.
तो भाई ये बोलिए, तो स्टोरेज करना ज़रूरी है. ये चीज़ें एकदम फेल हो जाती तो आप या तो रात में उसको बैकअप करो दूसरे कार्ड में या लैपटॉप में या किस में भी. एटलीस्ट यू शुड हैव 3 बैकअप्स.
Yeah, I was going to say that. You should have 3
बिकॉज इफ इट वन फेल्स, सेकंड फेल्स, you'll have 3. वो बहुत कम probability है कि वो भी फेल होंगी. At least 3 backups is a good solution because you don't want all your work done throughout the entire day to fail, and you do not have a backup for that. You cannot say anything to your client. All the money that is wasted, all the people's efforts that is wasted because your little card failed. So please don't do that.